Greetings. This is St. Mark's Episcopal Church, Richmond, Texas. This is Kids Kingdom Christian Formation class intended for those youth in grades 1 through 5. We had, of course, greatly hoped that we would be able to gather in person as this year of Christian formation started again. But because of the situation with the pandemic and uncertainties over COVID numbers and masks and procedures, we decided to start the year back to YouTube where we were last year. That's not to say we will be with YouTube all of this coming year, but at least this is where we're starting out of an abundance of caution for the health and safety of the kids and the teachers and the teaching assistants, and this was just the smart choice for right now. If you have not already signed up for this class, please contact me or the church office and they'll get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to make sure that you have the supplies that you will need in order to complete the activities that go along with this class. Those of you who participated last year still have a copy of the Children's Illustrated Bible. Mine happens to be a little bit bigger than yours, but it's still the same Bible, and I believe you still have that at home. And the supply bags will be delivered in a timely manner so that you always have whatever you need for that week's lesson. We lost a couple of kids who grew out of the class, so to speak. Marco and Millie went on. They're no longer in Kids Kingdom, but we welcome LJ and Holly and Holly and Noah and Travis and Zach and of course LJ. So this is where we are, and this is where we're beginning. So, of course, we always start with prayer. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for gathering us together in this manner with old friends and adding new friends to our Kids Kingdom group. Thank you for sending Jesus to us always to be with us. We feel comforted when we remember that you always love us. Amen. Just as we started last fall in Kids Kingdom with Old Testament lessons, we're going to do the same thing with this fall. And we're going to be starting with just a little bit of review to kind of help you remember a couple of the things that we did last year that might get you off to a good start. Maybe remember the family tree that we did. And so we have Abraham and Sarah, and they have a child named Isaac. Isaac marries Rebecca, and the person we're focused in on today is Jacob. And Jacob's going to have some children, and that's going to be the focus of our story today. So Abraham and Sarah, child Isaac, and then Isaac has Jacob, and we're going to be talking about Joseph in just a minute. So, if you would turn in your Bibles to page 56 and 57. We're still in the first book of the Bible. We're in the Genesis book, and this story for the next 2 or 3 weeks we're going to be focusing in on Joseph and what he does. All right. Follow along with me, please, on page 56. Jacob lived in Canaan with his 12 sons. Of all his sons, he loved Joseph the most, as his mother was his beloved wife, Rachel. He made Joseph a beautiful coat woven in all brilliant colors of the rainbow. Jacob's other sons were jealous of Joseph because he was so favored. And when they saw him in his coat of many colors, they hated him. One night, Joseph had a dream And when he told his brothers his dream, they hated him even more. I dreamed, he said, that we were in the fields at harvest time tying up sheaves of wheat. My sheaf of wheat stood upright while your sheaves bowed down to it. Soon afterward, Joseph had another dream. I dreamed, he said, that the sun and the moon in the sky and 11 stars were all bowing down to me. When the brothers heard his words, they were furious. A few days later, they took their flocks to graze in the field some distance away. Jacob sent Joseph to see that all was well. The brothers had a clear view of the road and saw Joseph approaching in his multicolored coat. Now's our chance. We could kill him and throw him into this pit. We can say that a wild animal attacked him. But Reuben, who had a kind heart, spoke up. Don't let us kill him. We don't want his blood on our hands. Much better just to throw him into the pit and leave him to his fate. And to this the brothers agreed, not knowing that secretly Reuben was planning to return later, rescue Joseph, and take him home. When Joseph reached them, his brothers attacked him at once, ripping off his coat and throwing him into the pit. They left him there without food or water. Then they sat down to eat. At twilight, a group of Ishmaelites came by. They were on their way to Egypt with camels loaded with spices, balm, and myrrh. Judah suggested that they sell Joseph as a slave to the travelers. Then they would be rid of the brother they hated without having to kill him. So Joseph was sold for 20 pieces of silver, and the Ishmaelites took him with them into Egypt. Meanwhile, the brothers killed a young kid, that's a goat, and dipped Joseph's coat in its blood. Their father was filled with horror when they showed it to him. This is Joseph's coat. My beloved son must have been killed by some wild beast. Joseph tore his clothes in grief and wept, and no one was able to comfort him. All right, if you look at the pictures at the bottom of page 56 and 57, they sort of review the story for us. And there's Jacob giving Joseph this beautiful coat with all these different colors. And there's Joseph telling his brothers all about his fantastic dreams. And then over on page 57, you can see the Ishmaelites coming on their way to Egypt, and they've thrown Joseph into the pit. They sell Joseph to the travelers. And in the last picture at the bottom of page 57, you can see Joseph's kind of tied up, and he's being pulled behind the camels on their way into Egypt. All right, so let's talk about this story a little bit. Joseph is Jacob's favorite. He was the daughter of Rachel. He loved Rachel, and so that was his favorite. Except he has all of his other sons, but he shows all of his favoritism to Joseph, and he gives him this beautiful coat. And all the other sons are thinking, well, gee, what's wrong with me? Why don't I get a coat? Why does Joseph get all of this? And then Joseph doesn't help the situation either. He brags about himself, about he's had these wonderful dreams, and his wheat is growing taller than everybody else's wheat. And everybody else's wheat is all bending over, but Joseph's is big and tall. So his brothers are just sick and tired of the whole thing. So they go off to take care of the sheep. And while they're away from him, they think, oh, hey, I got a good idea. Let's just get rid of Joseph. Let's kill him. That way we don't have to worry about him anymore. But Reuben has a kind heart. And it sounds like he's going along with the plan, but what he plans to do is come back and rescue Joseph. So they throw him in the pit. Oh, sounds like a good idea. He's out of there. You don't have to worry about them anymore. But then they have even a better idea. Why not sell him as a slave? And here come these people, and they're traveling into Egypt. We'll just sell Joseph. He'll go off into Egypt, and he'll be a slave, and he's out of our hair, and we don't have to worry about him anymore. Okay? It's better than killing him. And, of course, they take his coat, and they take the coat, and they rub it in the blood of the goat, and they take it back to the dad, and the dad's horrified. Ah! This is my son. He's been attacked by a wild beast. That's horrible. Not good. All right. So, in your bag, you have a supply bag. This one says September 12th, the yay and boo cards. And you have blank pieces of construction paper. And what I want you to do is on one of the pieces of construction paper, you're going to write boo as for something that's bad, not good. Right. And on the other piece of construction paper, you're going to write yay, like yippee, that's good. Okay. I'm going to wait just a second while you go ahead and write the boo and the yay on the pieces of construction paper that were in your bag, and then we'll continue. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a portion of the story to you, and you have to decide if that's a good thing, it's a yay, it's a happy thing, it's what you should be doing, or if it's a boo, it's a bad thing. You shouldn't be doing that. It's not good. Okay? So I'm going to read these, and then I want you to hold up the right card that goes with whatever part of the story we're talking about. Okay, here's the first one. Joseph and his older brothers took care of the sheep for their father, Jacob. What do you think? Yeah, that's a yay. That's a good thing. They're helping their dad. His father, Jacob, gave Joseph a very beautiful coat of many colors. Well, that's okay. That's a yay. That's a good thing. He's got a nice coat. Because he loved Joseph more than the other children. No, that's a boo. That's not a good thing. To love one kid more than the other, no. One morning, Joseph told his brothers about a dream he'd had the night before. No, that's bragging. That's telling them that he's better than the rest of them. Not a good thing. They were all out in the field, gathering and bundling wheat. Joseph's bundle stood up tall, while the brothers' bundles gathered around Joseph's, and they bowed down. This dream made the brothers mad again. Ooh, that's a boo. Yeah, that's not good. Joseph said, I dreamed that the sun and the moon and the 11 stars all bowed down to me. The brothers hated him even more, and they were very jealous of him. Boo. Not good to be jealous, and not good to brag about how great and wonderful you are. Jacob sent the older boys to pasture the sheep. After they had gone from home for quite a while, he sent Joseph out to check on them. Joseph was to find them and see if everything was all right. Then he'd come back with a report to his father. Well, that's okay. That's the dad checking in on the kids and making sure they're okay. So that's a yay. Joseph's brothers could see him coming towards them from quite a distance. They were angry when they saw him coming, and they started planning what they could do to get rid of him. Of course, that's a boo. You can't get rid of your brothers and sisters. No, of course not. One of them said, let's kill him and throw his body in a pit and tell Father that a wild animal got him. But Reuben heard them planning and said, no, let's not kill him. No, That's a yay. Let's hear it for Reuben. Not a good idea to kill somebody. Reuben said, let's just throw him down in the pit and leave him there. That's a boo. It's better than killing him, but still, throwing somebody in the pit, no. Reuben planned to come back and get Joseph out of the pit when the others were away. Okay, yay, Reuben. That's what you're thinking. You're not sharing that with everybody else, but that's a yay. That's what you've got. When Joseph got close to his brothers, they jumped on him, took off his coat of many colors, and threw him in the dried up well. Boo. Of course. You're not going to do that to somebody else. The brothers sat down to eat supper, leaving Joseph in the well. While they were eating, a caravan of merchants came by. Judah said to the other brothers, let's not kill Joseph. Okay, that's good. Not going to kill him. Let's just sell him as a slave to these merchants. Wow, boo. Can't sell somebody as a slave. The brothers were worried about feeling guilty if they killed Joseph. Well, they're right. You can't go around killing people. So, yeah, they don't want to do that. The brothers pulled Joseph out of the well and sold him for the 20 pieces of silver, 10 pieces less than the current value of a slave, because they didn't care what they got for him. They just wanted to get rid of him. Boo. The brothers thought they'd never see him again, but God was in control of Joseph's life. Yay. God's there. He's got a plan. The brothers took Joseph's coat of many colors, dipped it in the goat's blood, and returned it to their father. When their father saw the coat, he was sure that a wild animal had killed Joseph. He cried and put on sackcloth and ashes. Boo. Of course, he's very upset. He's lost his son. Okay, lots of yays and boos in that story. Right. Okay. But the question is, have you ever been jealous of somebody else? Has somebody else ever gotten something that you wanted, or maybe got to go someplace that you wanted to go and you were jealous? Maybe so. Or have you had a friend or a relative that likes to brag about how great I am and how wonderful I am, and you feel kind of low? And yep, that happens in real life all the time. So the question is, what should you do about that when you feel jealous? Talk to a parent, talk to a teacher, talk to a grandparent or an older brother and sister, and try and figure out what the problem is. Maybe there's a solution to this jealousy. Maybe you could earn money to be able to buy whatever it is that you want. Or maybe you can earn something and be able to do whatever and go on the trip, or whatever it might be. There might be a solution. So talk to somebody else and see if they can help you work through whatever this jealousy problem is to come up with a good solution. I always have a challenge for you each week. So the challenge is this week, if you have that feeling of jealousy, that you don't like somebody or something and you wish you had whatever it was, that you take a deep breath and just try to chill for a minute before you lose your cool and start yelling and screaming or hitting or doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Just chill for a minute and try and figure out if there's another way to get around that problem. Because we know that God is always with us, and He's going to be guiding you to the correct thing to be doing. So that's your challenge for the week ahead. And if any of you want to email me or call me and tell me about this, I'd love to hear from you and see how you solved your problem of jealousy. Yeah, just like Joseph's brothers were trying to do, but they weren't going about it in the right way. No. You know that we always end our time together by saying the Lord's Prayer together. You'll recognize this from last year. So, together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you for joining me for this first week of Kids Kingdom for September the 12th. We'll hope that we don't have to do YouTube forever, but in the meantime, we have a way to be together and to communicate. I'd love to hear from you. Goodbye from St. Mark's in Richmond. Bye-bye.